Okay, we will get started and welcome you all to this Grand Prairie District Chamber of Commerce information session. My name is Tom. I look after communications and public relations for the Chamber. We acknowledge the traditional territories of the Indigenous peoples of the Treaty 8 region and the Métis settlements in the Métis Nation of Alberta regions 1, 4, 5, and 6. We respect the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all First Peoples of Canada, whose presence continues to enrich our community. This presentation is being recorded, so we can share it later. You can ask questions in the chat box or by raising your hand and getting our attention. We are here today to discuss how digital technology can be leveraged through the Canada Digital Adoption Program to provide value to customers and help businesses achieve their goals. Our guest presenter is Tom Minogue, Business Advisor in MNP's Grand Prairie office. And our thanks to MNP for providing this information today. Here's Tom.
Well, thank you, Tom. Yeah, so we wanted to do a quick rundown on the new Canadian Digital Adoption Program that was launched just over the summer. I can't see a chat or anything, Tom, so if there's questions or anything like that, can you handle that for me or let me know? So the CDAP, Canadian Digital Adoption Program, is kind of a combined federal grant and loan program through BDC. And so what it really allows is for small and mid-sized businesses and larger businesses to access some federal funding to enhance kind of their digital plan. So a quick MNP plug, a lot of people don't realize this, but we have a large digital advisory group. So that can be anything from cybersecurity to cloud services, managed IT, accounting system implementation, etc. And so in order to administer this, get access to the grant, you need to go through a registered digital advisor, and MNP is one of those. So there's my plug. So what is digital transformation? It's all about a lot of businesses have kind of underinvested in technology. And when we look at businesses that have taken that step and invested more in technology, they tend to see better results, whether that be through enhanced productivity, more sales growth, customer acquisitions, better profitability, better systems to manage their businesses, etc. Some of the focus areas on digital transformation, and I'll get into some examples maybe at the end. I think that might be more useful, but it can be around operational efficiencies, back office support, customer focused things, or integrating existing systems that are already in the business but maybe don't talk to each other. So what is CDAP? So there's a federal grant available of up to $15,000 to cover 90% of the cost of doing a digital transformation study. And so that's working with a digital advisor to look at the systems that are in your business or the systems that you want in your business, explore possibilities that are out there, and basically build a roadmap of this is where we're at, this is where we want to get to, and what are all the steps that are involved. And so yeah, real nice way to kind of let the federal government cover the cost of, hey, let's explore what's in our system and what's not, and what we want to add. So in order to qualify, needs to be a privately owned business, between 1 and 499 employees, over $500,000 of revenue, sole proprietor or privately owned company. Right now, doesn't qualify for partnerships, so that's kind of the only one that's kind of been scoped out at this point. And then once you've completed the digital advisory thing and submitted the grant application, the business is also eligible for it's about $100,000 loan through BDC, and that's 6 years of interest-free loan. So we've seen some clients that have kind of said, hey, I already know what I want to do, but I just really want to get access to this interest-free loan. If you look at interest rates today, 6 years, $100,000 interest-free loan, that's probably a $40,000 savings if you're already planning on spending money in the business. So kind of two pros to the program is the cost to cover the study and also the interest-free loan on the back end. Thinking through your business, I mean, here's a few examples of where you might want to focus some of your attention. So that could be on customer attraction, whether that's business to business or business to consumer. Planning out sales processes, implementing customer resource tools, e-commerce, online sales, things like that. In terms of maybe it's a internal operations thing where we want to have better scheduling, planning, supply chain integration, labor management. On the back office side, it could be anything around labor retention and attraction. Safety and compliance is a big one in this area. Workflow management, upgrading accounting systems, all that kind of stuff. And then on the digital foundations piece, you know, cybersecurity is always a thing. So that's one to think about. Going to breeze over this slide. I'm not sure what it's getting at. So when we work through the process, this is kind of the steps we take is we look at, you know, is the business eligible for the grant? If yes, then we would help with grant application and support, reviewing the business needs and what's available, presenting solutions, and then building out this kind of strategy and roadmap on where are we, what do we want to implement, what do we want to get to. So I think, yeah, at this point, maybe I'll get into a few examples of some of the businesses that we've been working with on this. So one, we've had a client that they were on Sage 50 or Sage 100, and they wanted to upgrade to a cloud-based system. They already kind of knew what they wanted to do, but they were able to use the grant application to verify or like vet a bunch of different accounting systems. And so they looked at Sage Intacct, which is an online one, Acumatica, and the Windows product. And so they were able to kind of use the funding to assess the different systems that are out there. And then on the back end, they're going to use the interest-free loan to kind of go through and implement that. Another one was we had a business that they were already planning on spending money on upgrading their servers. Their servers were out of date. They figured they had to spend somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000. And for them, the value wasn't so much in the strategy roadmap. It's, hey, there's an interest-free loan out there. If we go through this process, we're going to save a bunch of interest on money that we were going to spend anyway. So that one's good. And it applies to all sorts of different businesses out there. So some of our agriculture clients, they're looking at doing upgrades to like GPSing their combines and their tractors and all that kind of stuff. So it applies to all sorts of different businesses out there. Probably a good time to get into any questions if there's maybe some specific ones that anybody has.
Yeah, and you can type them in the chat box, or I'm not sure if Tom can see the other participants.
I can't, sorry.
You can't? Okay.
No.
Do you have anything more to share on the screen? Do you have any more slides? Because what we can do is just stop sharing, but it's up to you.
So steps to apply, I mean, so you know, determine if you're eligible. You go to the Government of Canada CDAP website. There's a Boost Your Technology grant there. So you apply and sign in. There's a digital needs questionnaire. Submit the grant application. Then you have to find a digital advisor to work with. And so this does have to be somebody that's pre-approved by the CDAP program. So these are, MNP Digital is one, but technology firms that have been in business for 5+ years in order to be eligible to kind of work with them. And then you work through doing your assessment, see what options are out there, and then submit the final application. Government sends you the check for the grant. So,
what sort of things aren't covered by the grant?
So the grant doesn't cover the actual spend on hardware and whatnot. That's covered by the loan on the back end, but really it's pretty wide ranging. Like any sort of technology stuff that enhances a business is covered. So it allows you to do a study on, you know, what are your current systems, what are ways that you can improve it, or how do you get more digital presence online, whether that be through website marketing, all sorts of stuff. So it's pretty broad, which is fantastic.
Excellent. Kabram, can you expand or explain your question for me, please?
Thank you, Tom. I'm just asking, like, if this grant is okay for franchise business also.
Oh, for franchise. Okay.
Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
my question. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, 100%. It would. There's no limitation against franchises. So I don't know, like specifically with the franchise, if there's certain things that you have to. A lot of franchises will have like their own softwares and things that you kind of follow. So not sure if that's an issue, but there's no limitation on a franchise. No.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for that. Any other questions from the floor or the gallery is in this case, I guess. And we said that this is up to like 499 employees, like, so it's basically any small business.
Yeah, pretty much between 1 and 499 employees. Have to have in the last 3 years at least 1 year where there was $500,000 in revenue. So that might be the only one that scopes a few people out, but it's really meant to be wide ranging. So
okay, I see Adrian has their hand up.
Yeah, sorry, I may have missed that in the beginning of the presentation. I had some technical difficulties, but the loan itself, is there a repayment period for that loan?
I'm not exactly sure what the repayment thing is. It's a 6-year interest-free loan. I'm not sure if they term it out after that, but it's administered through BDC.
Okay, thank you.
Another question in the chat box. What is the timeline for the grant process and is there an expiry date?
So it takes about a month to get the grant. And in that month, we would be actually working on the whole process of developing the strategy and whatnot. We know pretty early on whether or not you're going to be eligible. It's just that it takes about a month for the funds to actually show up. In terms of expiry date, there isn't really anything listed. It says that they've funded it up, or they're funding up to $4 billion. And it's to carry on through, I believe, 2025. If they spend their $4 billion, I don't know if it dries up or if they just throw more money at it. So
follow-up question to that, is there an upfront cost?
So the way it works is the government is covering 90% of the cost to do a digital adoption study up to $15,000. So practically speaking, what we're doing, and I can't speak for others out there, but a client would engage us to do this digital transformation study. The overall cost would be $16,500 at a maximum, with the government paying 15 grand, the client paying $1,500. So it's, you know, really the only upfront cost is that $1,500, or if 10% of however much of the study you want to do. So it's a pretty attractive way to get a lot of time with some technology advisors. Another way to think about it is, if you're going to spend the money already and you're going to finance it, pay the $1,500 and get an interest-free loan for 6 years rather than paying 30 or 40 grand in interest over that period of time. So
Excellent. Are there limitations as to what the loan can be used for?
not that I'm aware of. I mean, it's for the implementation of your digital transformation. So that could be spent on hardware, on software, on consultancy, as far as I'm aware, as long as it's for the implementation of your digital transformation strategy.
Excellent. Any more questions? Okay, unless there's something else you'd like to add, Tom, is there what's the best way for people to find a digital the question, yeah, you said the study takes about a month.
It's about a month for the turnaround of the grant application. The study can go as quick or as drawn out as you want. I think what we've found is it depends on how much time the key people in the business have to dedicate to this. So we've had some clients that get into this and go through the whole process real quick, and other ones that have, you know, a business to run and things pulling them in multiple directions, and they spend a few months working their way through building a digital transformation plan. So I think it's about getting the right plan for your business, not rushing a process.
Okay. I know Tom said to go to pre-qualify first, but should we have a meeting with him to see what we could get approved under the grant, ideas for business digital support needs? Is that a good, I guess it's always a good thing to talk to someone first and just find out all the ins and outs, eh?
Yeah, 100%. If you already know what you want to do, you can go right on the government website and apply for the grant. And if you want our help to sit down and see what's eligible and what's not, and talk about the process with some of our digital advisors, happy to set up a meeting like that. I'm an accountant, I'm not a digital advisor, but we have a very large digital advisory team in Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Toronto, etc. And we work very closely with them. So happy to set up any meeting like that.
Is there like a central place where you can find digital advisors if people are maybe have someone maybe that they're familiar with, or you know, just want to find out if they're able to you know, get information from them as well? Is there like how do they find? I'm not trying to push people away from MNP here.
No.
I'm just saying if they're like how easy is it to find people out there that are qualified for this?
I mean, if you have a digital advisor that you already work with, I would absolutely reach out to them and see if they're able to help you through the process. If they're not registered with CRA with CDAP for this program, we'd be happy to help work with them. I'm not sure if there's a central list on the government's website that says who all the qualified digital advisors are that they support, but it might be there, it might not.
Okay, and it'd be under Canada Digital Adoption Program. That's okay. Perfect. Any other last questions? We'll do a last call for questions, and I'll let you all get on with your day. We will be sharing this on our YouTube channel and social media, so you can review it and share it with your friends, work friends, and business friends, and see if we can't get the word out about helping businesses help with their digital strategies. You know, it's definitely become a big thing now, and more businesses are relying on it and improving on it. So good program. I think we'll see a lot of good come from this.
Yeah, the government does a lot of programs, and sometimes it's questionable how they're maybe spending their money, but this one seems to be pretty well thought out, actually, in my opinion, compared to some of the other grants and stuff that I've seen. So
right on. Well,
I would say most businesses. Okay, thanks, Tom.
Oh, yeah, no, thanks again to you, Tom, and to MNP, and for everyone who joined us today. Again, you can contact our chamber office for more information on any of our activities, or you can visit our website, grandprairiechamber.com, or find us on social media, and hopefully we'll see you at some of our events in the future. And if you have maybe ideas for presentations and information sessions, run them by our office and see if we can't find some people to share some more great information with us. So thanks everyone. Have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Stay warm.